This is the Stormy Willow Podcast, a lighthearted, balanced examination of the paranormal. Howdy do, and welcome to the Stormy Willow Podcast, where we bring you your booger news, the astrological forecast, and a paranormal story from our wheel of topics. I'm your host, Adele, along with my sister, Sarah.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Good night and good news.
All right, Ted Baxter.
So yeah, if you're following along on Facebook, Instagram, hope you're enjoying our 31 days of Halloween movies.
Yeah.
If not, you're tardy. You got some catching up to do.
Yeah, because we're on day 20.
We're on day 20, so a lot to catch up on, a lot of great movies. The hits are really about to get going because we're closing in on the big day.
We're like the final countdown from Halloween 2024, and I just can't believe it.
It's already here. And it's, days away from the election as well. Like, there's a lot about to go on.
A lot happening, guys. Yeah.
But,
yes.
I do have to say, if you're doing some spooking around this Halloween season, be careful though. You could get in trouble, like this guy in our booger news.
Oh no, what happened?
All right, so I have some pretty fun booger news for you guys. So this is the Daily Mail, and this happened in the UK, of all places. All right, so I'm gonna read it. Just hop in. Man, 24, fined for pretending to be a ghost by making woo noises and waving his arms about in a cemetery. That's right. Sounds innocent, but this guy got in some real trouble.
What?
All right. Yes. Not even kidding. All right, so a man who flapped his arms about in a cemetery making ghost noises within earshot of mourners.
This is okay. All right.
Okay, that's where it takes the turn.
That took a turn.
Within earshot of mourners visiting graves, was fined and given a suspended prison sentence.
Oh God. Can someone do that when I die though? Because that would be funny as hell.
Oh my God, yes.
It's very tacky, and I'm sorry that happened to whoever, but oh my God.
I mean, we're the people you can do that to, and we won't get mad.
Yeah, but oh my. Okay, so I'm just imagining that you're sitting there at a graveside, mourning, crying your fucking eyes out, and this fool is just. What?
Yes, well, Anthony Stallard, 24.
Anthony.
Do you think he's an Anthony or a Tony?
Tony. That's a Tony move.
Yeah, was reported to police after he was seen throwing himself backward and saying "woo" at Kingston Cemetery in his hometown of Portsmouth. The city's magistrate heard. Shortly before that, Stallard, who was unemployed, I don't know why they felt the need to say that.
Why did they put that in there?
Stallard, who was unemployed, was seen kicking a football at graves with a friend. Okay.
Tony. Okay. All right.
Tim Kikanen, prosecuting, told Portsmouth Magistrate Court, quote, while the football was going on, this defendant was effectively singing loudly and being disrespectful in among the graves. He was throwing himself backwards, waving his arms about and going, woo! I'm assuming he was pretending to be a ghost. Police arrested him and charged him with using threatening or abusive words or behavior likely to cause distress. I don't know. That sounds kind of extreme to me to be arrested over this.
I mean, I get it, like, sorry, you're going to need to leave the premises and not come back here yet.
Yeah, it's like you should just get kicked out over that. Like, can you take your football and get out of here?
Like he got arrested, man.
He got freaking arrested. Stallard admitted to the charges and accepted that his behavior could cause distress to grieving relatives. Denise Saunders, one of the defendants, said he was he has accepted that his behavior, if it had been outside of a cemetery, would not have been inappropriate. But inside a cemetery, while people are grieving for their loved ones, it might be. Okay.
Okay, Denise.
Stallard committed the offense with subject. Sorry, Stallard committed the offense while subject to a 12-month conditional discharge, which he had received for a charge of harassment in January. So he had some
Damn.
prior charges. I think that's why this was so serious. There's also a breach of a suspended sentence for. Um, sorry, I can't see this. My old eyes. I have to put it on this big screen. He was also in breach of a suspended sentence for an offense of assault, which he had committed in August last year. Uh, he was fined £35 and made to pay a £20 victim surcharge and a £20 court cost. An extra 3 months was added to his suspended sentence, which will now run for 15 months instead of the previous 12. And if he commits a further offense that breaches his suspended sentence, he will face 12 weeks imprisonment. So charges of causing damage to gravestones as the pair played football were dismissed when witnesses failed to turn up in court. So that's your booger news for today.
Oh, Tony. It seems like Tony's just not made some good choices, and they kind of added up there.
Yeah, but they definitely kind of like threw him under the bus. Like, who cares that he's unemployed? Like, come on.
That was kind of rough. I was like,
I
what
throwing some
are
shade
you
at this guy.
saying? I'm like, man. Maybe he was
So,
like, ooh.
I want to understand. Like, I don't understand what it means to throw yourself backward.
I'm
What
thinking
is
like,
that?
I don't know, but I would love to see some footage. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes, I would love, or a reenactment. I would sell for that too.
That would be great. That would be awesome. That
But
is wow. But can you imagine like that happening and you're at this funeral and all of a sudden like the police come and like arrest like whoa.
I would laugh my fucking ass off.
I mean, maybe he was just trying to bring joy.
I think he was trying to lighten the mood. He was like,
Yeah,
"It's
but
too heavy."
I'm just imagining people like motherfucker like ruined. Like I don't know. Like it's just I don't know. I think it's funny though. I'm like, that's just awful. But can you imagine getting that phone call? Like you're that one phone call. It's like, I need you to get me out of jail, Adele. Why, Tony? Well, I was acting like a ghost in a graveyard while a funeral was going on. Like, what did he say?
Again, again, Tony.
Again, Tony?
I think he's gonna
Again?
do it again.
He's gonna do
That's my
something.
guess.
He's gonna do some shenanigans.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it'll be the same. I think he'll
Mhm.
change it up, but
Well, he
I
would do office pranks, but he's unemployed.
you know what? Maybe that was his defense. He's like, well, if I had an office to go to, I could act like this. Then
Someone please
maybe.
hire this man. That's what we're saying.
Listen, you know what, Tony, I would have represented you, even though I'm not a lawyer or anything. But like, if you had a job, then maybe this wouldn't have happened.
I mean, if we go to the UK, you can definitely be one of our roadies.
We don't have to think about that. I'm gonna need you to stay out of trouble for the next couple months, okay?
I mean, it's all on you if you get in trouble that
Yeah.
you're not affiliated.
Stormy Willow does not have the funds to get you out of the slammer, buddy.
But we'll
You have to
tag
sit
along,
me.
see what you get up to. So yeah, if you're thinking, I guess, of pulling pranks in a cemetery, just I guess be a little bit mindful.
Yeah, be a little mind, especially if there's a funeral going on, guys.
That might have been in poor taste.
That might have been in poor
Maybe.
taste. I mean, we would have thought it was funny, but a lot of people probably would think differently.
Yeah. Yeah,
Might be a little frowned upon in most circles.
a little bit. All right. So that was your booger news. Now let's talk about this freaking week that's coming up.
All right. Adele, I saw a shirt and I wanted to get it for you, but it totally didn't look like something you would wear. But it said Sunday Scaries.
Yes.
Funny.
Mine would be everyday scaries.
Everyday scary. Yeah.
Life is
Out of
one
my
big
house.
scary.
Out of my house scaries. No. To people you don't know.
Woo!
Whoa. Maybe I should just start acting like that in public.
Maybe you should. Why the fuck not?
Why
I don't
not?
know. I question how real all of this is anyways
That's
sometimes.
right. I mean, why not?
All right, so I do have your forecast for the week, your astro
All right.
forecast. It's mindbodygreen.com, our
So you know
astro
it's all
twins.
script.
All right, so this is your forecast for October 21st through the 27th. Astrological advisory. Transformative conditions expected. Pack emotional umbrellas and prepare for mood swings. So,
Oh,
okay, I'm just gonna say I'm fucking tired of this. Okay? Astrology, people, and stars, I'm tired of this. I am fucking tired of all this emotional, internal, transformative shit that's been going on for probably the past 6 months. Tired of
yeah.
it. So I'm just putting that out there. But
Yeah,
here
I
we go.
agree.
Monday. Conditions. Light Libra breeze continue creating harmonious skies for relationship maintenance and teamwork. Warning, use the calm to tie up loose ends before Scorpio season storms in. Thanks,
Fun.
that gives you Monday to tie up your loose ends.
Better get your shit together the next, what, 24 hours.
Yeah, like seriously. Like, I'm so tired of this. I'm just gonna sleep through all this bullshit. Tuesday, October 22nd, major shift, Sun enters Scorpio at 12:20 a.m. Eastern.
All
So yeah, you
right.
really do have like 24 hours to get your shit
I was about
together.
to say, then it gets real.
Actually, by the time you hear this, it'll be too late. So there's
Yeah.
that.
Sorry. Hope you're checking
Well,
our social.
well, now you know why things are going so shitty. All
It's
right,
not
so
you, it's the stars.
we got that Scorpio shift at 12:20 Eastern on Tuesday. So brace for intense energy and emotional heat. The
Oh.
cold front of secrets may roll in, bringing with it the urge for control and deep transformation. Tired of this transformation shit.
Yeah,
Um,
just transform already.
Perfect weather for soul searching or confronting buried emotions. Been there, done that. Can we please move on, stars? Tired of this. All right.
For the people in the back, soul search already so we
I'm
can
ready
move
just
on.
for some woo good times. Uh, Midweek, October 23rd through the 25th. So, energy pattern. Retrograde winds persist as Jupiter, Saturn, and others remain in reverse.
Oh
Woo!
no.
Expect some delays and miscommunications. Great. This is a great time to review, reflect, and reconnect. Yeah, fuck that. Work zone alert. Pluto, now direct, or just fall cleaning of your career and ambition.
Oh.
If it's outdated or toxic, it's getting swept away. I thought we swept away all this bad shit like 2 months ago, stars.
Oh.
So what are we still sweeping up? I'm tired of
Yeah.
this. I feel
I
clean and purged and transformed, and I'm ready for good stuff. But anyway, Saturday, October 26th, evening outlook. Deep Scorpio vibes make it ideal for introspective or low key gatherings. Psychic fog may roll in, so trust your instincts. Intuition is speaking. Okay, well, my instincts suck and intuition is not accurate, so I'm not going to do that. And then Sunday, October 27th, just days before the big day of Halloween. Long range forecast. Emotions remain intense. Thanks, that's great. With personal breakthroughs on the horizon, get cozy. Scorpio skies favor deep conversations and planning ahead for Halloween magic. Well, let's have some of that fucking Halloween magic, huh? Let's have it now. Cosmic tips. With transformations still in the air. Like, what are we fucking turning into? Dragons? Why is this taking so long? Anyway, with transformation in the air, now it's the time to shed old habits and embrace change. So there we go. Same bullshit, different day. I'm so tired of the same forecast for months.
Adele is in an amazing mood if you can't pick up, but she's laying
Yeah,
down.
so there we go. There's your shitty ass forecast for this shitty ass week.
Adele, I think you need to go scare somebody in the graveyard.
I might. I might. Woo! Woo!
Oh, all right. So yeah, I don't know how much more transformation I got left to do, but man.
I mean, I've transformed and come back around already. Like,
Yeah.
geez.
Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot. So, I'm just gonna say hunker down.
Hunker down. Hunker down, friends.
Like,
Yeah.
geez, maybe there will be some true Halloween magic, but that's still to come. So, back to you.
All right. Well, you're just gonna love today's story, Adele.
Okay, I hope so.
I do too. Oh, I'm a little nervous. Um, so I landed on Precentor's Choice, which can be so hard because there's so much to cover out there. So I thought I would do a little astrology 101 today because there's so much to learn. It's it's so hard. And so I thought I would maybe break it down. And at the end of this, Adele, I have a little treat surprise for you that might help you with your transformation.
Oh God, I'm
I'm joking.
transformed.
I'm joking. I do have a surprise for you at the end, though.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready to get into it? Let's
Yes.
talk astrology.
Let's.
Okay, let's do it. So, astrology, what the hell does it mean? Like, let's break it down. So, it's basically the belief system that suggests there is a relationship between the positions and the movements of like planets and stars and events on Earth, but it's how they impact humans. Whereas I used to always kind of get a little confused with astrology and astronomy. So, astronomy is kind of the same thing, except for it doesn't deal with how it relates to humans. It's just strictly the study of the planets, the stars, the galaxies. It doesn't deal with how it impacts Earth or how it necessarily well, maybe how it impacts Earth, but not how it impacts you, the living on Earth. Where astrology is more like why are you feeling this way? Like, whatever. So, so you might be surprised to learn that astrology is actually not considered a science. It used to be, but
I'm
today,
oddly not surprised.
yeah. But I mean, but the thing that I think is so weird though is like when you get into it, it fucking is science. Like the charts and the alignments, like holy moly. Like I studied this and I still don't think I get it completely. It's a lot.
Hmm.
It is a lot. So we're just taking it like 101 today. So the first basic step with astrology is the zodiac. So the zodiac is divided into 12 signs, and each sign is associated with a specific time period during the year. So these signs are basically based on the constellations that the sun appears to pass through at different times of the year. So just in case you don't know, they're Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. So those are our 12 zodiac signs. So the horoscope is basically a chart that represents the position of the planets, moon, and sun at a specific time. And usually, like when we're looking at like birth charts, it really is important for the time you were born because that really determines in the place because that just kind of determines a lot as far as your birth chart is concerned. So it's basically used to predict events that interpret like one's personality. Like, oh, you were born, you're Leo, so you have very like Leo energy, and you were born under this sun sign, and it's said to like really impact a person's their traits. Like, we kind of joke about it, but like I am 100% a Cancer. Like I'm true to it, and I think like Adele, you're 100% a Leo. So
I
you
think
know,
I don't know if you're gonna get into like your moon or like other, like I know that's the sun signs, right? But like
right.
I think Scorpio comes up in like some of my moon stuff, which makes me more of like an emo Leo.
Yeah, well, and we're gonna definitely get into that because it's not just as simple as, oh, I'm a Leo. Like, and, I mean, trust me, and that's where I am with it because it goes so deep. Like, you have like a moon rising or a sunrise. It just goes in this crazy, very specific type thing. But anyway, we're gonna get there eventually. All right. So, planets in astrology, okay? So, each planet is believed to have specific qualities that govern like different aspects of life, like your career, your health. For example, if we say, so Venus is a planet that is associated with love and relationships, while Mars, as we know, is more of like a planet that is linked to aggression type energies. So, like each planet also has different energies that kind of have to do with how you might interpret a situation or how it may rule your zodiac. So, like, we just had the Hunter moon. So, like, we had the Aries moon. And so, it's like we had the energy of a full moon plus Aries, which is in a very aggressive zodiac sign, double combined. So, that's how that kind of comes in to play when we're talking about that. Um, and if that's not more confusing enough for you, we also have houses. So not only do you have like your zodiac and you have planets, you also have 12 houses that each represent different areas of life, such as like your money, how you identify, your communication, your family, your health, your work, and your relationships. So you have all of these things kind of working together. And then you also have aspects, which refer to this is what I think is wild. It refers to the angles formed between planets on the horoscope chart. So that's why it's really important, like, to know like where you were born, because these angles are believed to influence how planets affect one another and how their energies play out in a person's life. So like a planet might be different, like if you were born in Charlotte versus if you were born in England at the
Mm.
same date. You know what I mean? Like it would be a different angle alignment. So even though there may be another Leo that was born even the same year as you, because of the placement and the angles, you could still have very different outcomes, which I think is. I was always wondering that when people like do like your birth chart, like why does it matter where I was born or what time? That's why it matters.
Mm-hmm.
So astrology has been around a long time. So just to kind of give you a quick rundown of it, originally it was practiced in Mesopotamia, and so then it moved into the Babylon, and then it was in Egypt, and then it came into Western astrology, and then you remember, of course, with the three wise men were said to be astrologers as well. And so then it kind of takes a hiatus in the 12th century, and then it comes back in the 16th century during the Renaissance era. And then it kind of like dies down again, and then it kind of comes back again in pop culture in the 20th century, like with the whole New Age movement. So it kind of ebbs and flows, but it's all something that's always been used as a tool. And so, even though, as I mentioned earlier, astrology doesn't hold scientific credibility, it still remains a significant culture and spiritual practice for people all over the world. It has such a really cool history too. It's just been used like through the civilizations. And it's pretty interesting because the earliest known records of astrology date back to ancient Mesopotamia, particularly in Babylon, which is modern day Iraq. Around the second millennium BC, the Babylonians developed the first organized system of astrology around 1800 BC. And they studied celestial events like the movements of the sun, moon, and planets to predict weather. They would predict agriculture cycle, and they even would predict the rise and fall of empires. So, I mean, that's pretty awesome. And then they also, like we had Babylonian priests that would observe the heavens from top of like these huge, like really high temples, and they would interpret celestial events as messages from the gods. And they would actually divide the sky into three bands and begin to associate certain constellations with specific events. So you can kind of see how it starts to kind of evolve a little bit through time. And then, of course, we have the Greek influence with the conquest of Alexander the Great. He was a Babylonian astrologer that actually spread the Greeks to like expand upon it. And so then you have Hellenistic astrology. So you can see like each culture kind of adds something to it. So it merged. So you have the Greek, Egyptian, and Mesopotamia ideas begin to emerge. And then you kind of go all the way like through the Middle Ages, and then the medieval times, and then the Renaissance, which is pretty cool. And then in the 17th and 18th century, you start getting some skeptics, right? The scientific revolution and the rise of the Enlightenment kind of brought more of a, does God want us to do this? That whole sort of thing. And so you kind of start getting But really before this time, people like or use it as a tool, and then it starts being like, oh, well, maybe we shouldn't be doing this, that, and the other. And so, you get a lot of the misinterpretation of the Bible, calling it witchcraft, and then that whole thing, and it kind of becomes like a taboo thing, right? Like, oh, like if you're using the stars to predict your future, then that's the devil's work. And so it kind of takes a hiatus. And it comes back in the 19th and the 20th century. Despite modern science, astrology made a huge resurgence. And in the earliest 20th century, we can thank our newspapers for this because they start publicizing horoscopes, and people dig it. They're like, this is awesome. And it really kind of puts astrology back on the map again. Because who doesn't love getting a 17 magazine, checking out your monthly horoscope, or whatever, in the newspaper, whatever. And so it kind of brought it back in full circle. And so then in the 20th century, we have the whole New Age movement, where astrology kind of becomes intertwined with the New Age, and it's seen as a tool for understanding your spiritual growth. So it's really it's kind of cool to see how it was such a tool. It went away, and it kind of has come back. So today, astrology is widespread, especially through like online platforms, right? That's where we pull.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know it may be a joke thinking that Adele and I actually chart this out for you guys every week, but we don't.
No way.
We have people that do that, and then we just give them credit for. But because of you've got your social media apps, and you have all these resources to really get your horoscope and whatnot. And so modern developments include psychological astrology. And they also have like all types of different like evolutionary astrology, which focuses more on like reincarnation and different things. So you've got all kinds of different ones that you can kind of dabble with, all in the World Wide Web for you. So learning astrology, it can be a really fun journey. It can really give you a lot of insights to your personality, your relationships, maybe some patterns that you see in your life. But it's really, really fucking hard, I think, to understand. So to understand astrology, you have to really first understand the celestial bodies. So when they say celestial bodies, we're talking like planets and stars. So planets and stars affect the events that happen on Earth. So basically, it uses a birth chart or a natal chart to map the sky at the moment of your birth, and it includes key components such as what your zodiac sign is, what the planets and the houses and everything are. So like if you really wanted someone, you might pay someone to create your birth chart for you and like get real in depth. Again, another way to learn is to really get familiar with the zodiac signs. So if you're an Aries, your element is fire. If you're born March 21st through April 29th, you're a cardinal modality, and typically you're very bold, energetic, and assertive. Taurus, they're born April 20th to May 20th, and they're an Earth. You have like a little Captain Planet situation going, and they're usually very reliable, patient, and practical, and they're kind of more like a fixed kind of modality. And then you've got the Gemini from May 21st to June 20th that has an air element, and they're very mutable, they're curious, they're communicative, they're adaptable. And then you've got the Cancer, which is yours truly. June 21st till July 22nd, and we're a water sign, and we're also a cardinal modality, and we're very nurturing, sensitive, and very protective.
And then we have Adele. All those tears.
All those tears we shed. You got that right. And then you've got the Leo, little Leo Adele there. So you're from July 23rd to August 22nd. You're a fire sign, and you're a very fixed modality as well. You're very confident, you're very creative, and dramatic.
What? Dramatic? I don't see that at all in dad.
And then we've got Virgos, August 23rd to September 22nd, and you're an Earth. You're very a mutable sign. You're very analytical. You're very detail oriented, and you're very helpful. And then we've got Libras from September 23rd to October 22nd. You're an air, cardinal modality. You're very balanced, diplomatic, and sociable. And then we've got the Scorpio It's like the baddies. I feel like they get a lot of shade thrown
I
at
do.
them. And it's almost your season. And so you're born October 23rd to November 21st. You're a water sign. You're a fixed modality. And you're very intense. You're very passionate. And you're very resourceful. They left off that, you get a lot of like
And
shade.
evil, apparently.
Yeah, they left that off. Sagittarius, November 22nd to December 21st. You're fire, you're mutable, you're adventurous, you're optimistic, you're free spirited. And then we got the Capricorns, December 22nd to January 19th. Earth is your sign, cardinal. You're ambitious, disciplined, and practical. And then two more, Aquarius, January 20th through February 18th. You've got you're air, and you're a fixed modality, and you're also very innovative, independent, and you're a humanitarian. And last but not least, we have our Pisces, February 19th through March 20th. Water is your sign. Your modality is mutable. You're very compassionate, intuitive, and artistic. So that's like the rundown. And I think it'd be such a dream. Like, I don't have these. Like, I would love to be able to just like, like,
Yeah, like
so
Nancy can do that.
yeah, like just
Stepmom.
run it down.
It was really cool. I remember. Do you remember her at my 21st birthday party?
Yeah,
She was
just
just
ran
like
down.
she was like, "Oh, you're this sign," telling people all about themselves. She was like spot on.
Yeah. And so they say that that's the best place to start with astrology, is to really start with knowing the signs and their personalities, and like when they're born. So that's, and just kind of knowing that, somebody like me that's a Cancer, I'm going to be a little more sensitive than someone like Adele that's a Leo. And sometimes, that can be kind of helpful, because like some things that you may be able to say to other zodiac signs, it may hurt my feelings a little more than it would someone else's. So sometimes it
Yeah.
can be very helpful to kind of know that.
If it's a Leo, we don't give a fuck about anything you say, so you're not gonna hurt our feelings because we're not listening
Exactly.
to
Exactly. And so that's step one, is to really get familiar with that. And then you've got to really learn about the planets and their meanings as well. So in astrology, each planet represents a different aspect of a life and personality. So the location of each planet in your birth chart will show how that planet influences you. So like Adele, you're a planet that may, like, the sun may influence me more than maybe the moon influences you more. Like, we won't have the same relation to planets, if that makes sense. So just to give you a quick rundown on this, all right, the sun rules ego and identity. And so you like the keywords to look for whenever the sun is in a certain, like when the sun rules, it's going to be your core self, your vitality, and your life force. So sun is your life force. The moon rules emotions and your inner self. So we're thinking feelings, subconscious, instincts. Mercury, we're very familiar with that one. What does it rule?
me.
Communication. So
Or
we're
rather,
thinking,
ruin. I think it
yeah,
ruins
right?
communication more than anything.
No kidding. And so we're dealing with thinking, speaking, learning when we're talking about Mercury. And typically we're talking about when Mercury goes retrograde. Venus, we're talking love, beauty, values. So it has to do with your relationships, your attraction, your harmony. Mars, it's going to be more action and energy, a drive, and it's going to be more like passion, aggression, and ambition. Jupiter is going to be an expansion, growth, and luck. It's going to have to do with abundance, wisdom, and optimism. Saturn has to do with discipline, structure, and responsibility. So we're talking boundaries, hard work, limitations. Uranus, sometimes it can be a Uranus,
You're right.
has to do with innovation and rebellion. And so we're talking charge, uniqueness, surprises. Neptune, we're dealing with dreams, intuition, spirituality. So we're dealing with fantasy, idealism, illusion. And then we've got Pluto, which has to do with transformation and power. So we're talking rebirth, power dynamics, and then like a big change. So that's that. So you've got your planets, check. You got your zodiac sign, check. Then you have houses. You probably have heard that people, you also have like 12 houses. So like, if you have a birth chart, or just, if you're really digging deep into astrology, there are 12 houses also. So each house is going to represent a different area of your life. So the house is a planet that is located, so like where that house is located in your birth chart is going to basically show its influence, how its influence plays out in your life. So it's a little weird. It's hard. So like your first house would have to do with self and identity. Your second house is money, values. Third is communication, community. Fourth is home and family. Fifth is creativity, romance, and children. Sixth is health, work. Seventh is relationships, partnerships. Eighth is transformation, death, and shared resources. Ninth is philosophy, travel, and education. 10th is career and public reputation. 11th is friendships and social groups. And then 12th is subconscious and hidden matters. So it's a lot. So basically, another thing, like once you really get into this, if you have a birth chart made up, where all the planets were in the journey around the sun at the exact moment you were born is basically a great tool for just kind of really charting out like your personality. So like, for example, like wherever the sun sign is, like whatever your sun sign is, represents your core personality. Your moon sign is going to represent your emotions and inner self. Your rising, like we talked about that, your rising ascendant sign represents how you present yourself to the world. And the planetary positions, like we talked about earlier, in the placement of each planet in a sign and house reveals how its energy is expressed in your life. So it's very, very complex. In addition, you also have like different degrees. So you have like a conjunction degree, which planets, how they blend their energies together. We've heard about the sextile. We've talked about that in our horoscopes. And if it's at a 60 degree, it means that it's a harmonious, easy flow in energy. We talked about how planets go square sometimes in 90 degrees. And so if you've got a square, that means you've got some tension and some challenges. Trine at 120 degrees is like natural, effortless energy, which I don't feel like we've seen in a very long time in the forecast.
So this is all celestial feng shui.
This is all celestial feng shui.
That's
And
what
then
it
you have
sounded like.
opposition at 180 degrees, which is conflict or balance. So you've got a whole lot. So it's just really important to know. I talked. It's really just the blending of all of it. We also talked about how when we talked about our zodiacs that we have different elements. So we're talking fire, earth, air, and water. So if you're a fire sign, that means that you are energetic, you're passionate, and you're dynamic. So your sign, your element is fire. So Adele, you're a fire. So my Leos are fire, Steven's a fire, my husband Aries, and Sagittarius is a fire. If you are a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, you're an earth sign. That means that you're practical, you're grounded, you're kind of a very reliable person. If you're an air sign, like our Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius friends, you're very intellectual, you're very communicative, and you're very social. If you're a water sign like me, so Cancer, Mom, Scorpio, Amanda, and Pisces, we're very emotional, we're very intuitive, and we're very nurturing. And we're the water. So, and then we also talk about modalities. And so when I'm talking about a modality, there are three groups. So you have the cardinal, the fixed, and the mutable modality. And so what that means is cardinal means that you are very action oriented. So that's going to be Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. If you are a Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, or Aquarius, you're a fixed modality. It means that you're very persistent and you're very stable. And then if you're a mutable modality, you're very adaptable and flexible. So that would be our Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. So it's kind of cool to know that, I think I'd used like about the emotional side, or that if you're dealing with me, I'm very, I want to take action. I don't want to just always sit and talk about it. Like, let's go, let's move. Whereas you might be you're more stable, like you're more persistent with things, where I'm not. So sometimes it's kind of nice to know what you're dealing with.
Hmm.
So if you want to, just some things to consider, you can, the World Wide Web makes this so much easier than it used to be, but you can do your own birth chart. And whenever you are doing that, like you can look for like, your specific sun, moon, and rising signs and like the placement of the planets and houses to really tell a lot about you and give you some, some good tools. A basic astrology books that were recommended was The Only Astrology Book You'll Ever Need by Joanna Martine Wolfbook, Astrology for the Soul by Jan Spiller, and The Inner Sky by Stephen Forrest came highly recommended. And you can also join a lot of different platforms and social media groups. We definitely love Mind Body Soul. Is it Mind Body Soul?
Mind, body, green.
Mind Body Green. I don't know why I said soul. There were so
Earth,
many,
wind, and fire.
but
Like,
Earth, Wind, Fire. So you can also create your own birth chart. And Adele, I created your own birth chart for you. And I'm
mine.
gonna, yeah, and
Why didn't you
I'm
use
gonna
you as an example?
because I wanted to surprise you. So you can you can go to Cafe Astrology, or astro.com or AstroSeek, and they have software where you can do your own, you can create your chart. So Adele, I created your birth chart and I'm gonna send it to you. But it was really hard to interpret, honestly, because I mean, hello, like look at what we just talked about. Like it's really, really hard. So what I did was I took your birth chart and I stuck it in chat bot GPT.
Chat GPT. Oh boy.
And I'm gonna give you a reading today.
Okay. Let's hear it. I trust
Okay.
Chat GPT to understand this more than me, so
Well, yeah. Okay. So thank you, Cafe Astrology and Chat GPT for this reading. All right. And I didn't even ask you, like, are you okay that I'm sharing this with everyone? Your
yeah,
birth chart?
I don't care. It's not like
Okay.
it's my social security number. And trust me,
Oh well,
you wouldn't want to
I,
steal my identity anyway.
I had to put a lot of stuff in there, like your birth date and where you were, last for your social. I had to get. You remember when I was asking for your thumbprint? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. I was wondering why you wanted a picture of my ID.
Yeah, this is why. All right. So Adele, the ascendant rising sign. So you are Scorpio rising. As you that remember you talked about like what your rising sign was and you thought you had Scorpio. You do. Scorpio is your rising sign. And so the ascendant found at it was found at the 9 o'clock precision, the time you were born. I confirmed the date and time, or I knew the date, but I confirmed the time with mom. Um, it represents how you present to yourself to the world and your initial approach to life. So since you've got Scorpio rising, you probably come across as intense, mysterious, and magnetic. You give off an air of depth and privacy, and others might find you a bit guarded or hard to read.
Sure, I don't know.
Would you agree?
Yeah, I'm pretty private. Like, I'm not as gregarious as a typical Leo. I really don't like people, and I don't like people being in my business.
And that's probably because your Scorpio rising has a lot to do
Probably.
with that. Because like Dad's a Scorpio too, and I feel like he's totally opposite in that
He's
way.
completely 100% a Leo, like what you think of.
Yeah. Like I bet you his rising sign's probably Leo. He's probably like Leo.
Or he, maybe.
Possibly.
Probably.
Leo.
It's just
But
all
yeah,
Leos.
he's all Leos. So yeah, so you are Scorpio rising, which is why you probably are a little more private. And,
I'm the Black Lion.
You're the Black Lion. All right. So again, we talked about the houses, right? So this chart is divided into 12 houses. Each represents a different area of your life. So the signs on the cusp or the outer edge of the houses show you how you experience those things in that area. So your first self is also Scorpio.
Huh.
So you approach life with intensity and passion, which can make you seem powerful or secretive.
Huh. I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea how people perceive me.
Your second house, which is your finances and values, you're in Sagittarius. So you seek freedom and growth in how you handle money, possibly valuing experiences over material possessions.
Yeah, I feel like that's 100% our generation, though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a shit about a big house. I want the freedom of not having a huge mortgage so I can do
Yeah.
shit I want to do.
But I don't know, like it would be interesting to pull somebody else's chart that was born the same year as you, but like let's see,
If that's true for them.
because that's like number two for you.
'Cause,
Your
yeah,
first,
freedom is the absolute number one thing I want out of
yeah. Well, number one for
everything.
you was this is funny. This is very Leo. Your first house, which is the most important, is yourself. So
Yeah,
self is number
absolutely.
one. Your
Yes.
second house was your finances and values. So like
You
you
can't
care
take
about
care of,
yourself before anybody else. So that's the Leo there.
I mean, you can't help people if you're, it's the oxygen mask.
All right, Adele. So your third house is your communication and your community, and your third house is in Capricorn. So you take a serious, responsible approach to communication. You value practicality and hard work.
Yes. I'm very
Your
practical.
so your fourth house is your home and your family, and your fourth house is in Aquarius. So your home life may be unconventional,
Okay, well, yeah.
valuing independence with the family dynamic. I would say
I
that's
would
true.
say, yeah.
All right. So your fifth house, creativity and romance, you're in Pisces. So you have a dreamy or artistic approach to love and creativity. You seek emotional connection and romance. I don't know, Amanda. It's true.
I think it's true. Well, I don't understand who, well, I guess really physical people.
Yeah.
I'm not into like casual
So,
encounters
yeah.
and
Yeah.
dating. And, because, hello, I don't like people because I'm a Scorpio rising. I
That's
don't want to
right.
invest my time in shit that's not, pay off.
There you go. I think that's true. All right. So your sixth house is your work and your health, and you're in Aries. So you are
Oh,
likely proactive and energetic in your daily routines and health habits with a desire to take action in your work environment.
yeah.
Your seventh house, which is your partnerships, you're in a Taurus. So stability, security, and sensuality are essential to you in a one-on-one relationship.
Yeah. That seems fair.
Eighth house for you. So this is transformation, shared resources.
God
You're a
damn it, these
Gemini.
fucking transformations. I bet. So tired of hearing about this and these damn stars.
Let's
I
see what
don't
it
like this
says.
house.
So you're a Gemini in this house, and you likely are pissed off all the time. No, I'm kidding.
There we go.
You likely have a curious, adaptable approach to deep emotional connections, shared finances, and personal, there it is, transformation.
Okay, sure.
Your ninth house, that's going to be your higher learning travel self. And hey, you're a Cancer like me. You feel emotionally connected to your philosophical beliefs, and you enjoy nurturing others through teaching or traveling. I think that's true. You're a good teacher, even though you don't mean to teach, you do. Like people enjoy learning from you.
Hmm.
I feel like.
Okay.
Your 10th house, so this is your career and your public life. You're a Leo.
Okay.
You seek recognition and leadership in your career and public life. You take pride in achievements.
Yeah. It's nice to hear good job sometimes.
Yeah.
Remember that, folks.
Your 10th house, this is oh wait, I already did that for you. Your 11th house, so this is gonna be your friendships and circles, socials.
It's an empty house.
Social circles. Well, what's so funny is this is this is your 11th house. So
I don't give
you're
a shit about that.
so you're a Virgo, and you're likely precise and analytical when it comes to your friendships, valuing practicality and order in group settings.
Yeah, oh, I'm so good at quitting people. I can't even tell you. I know that's probably horrible, but like once I'm done with you, I never talk to you again. Ever.
Yeah, and she doesn't care.
I don't want that shit in my house. I don't want other people's bullshit. Yeah. I'm surprised there was anybody in that house.
You're like, wait, I couldn't get anything to pull up for that one for some reason.
It's just an empty house. It's like, yes.
House.
It's all I ever wanted.
So your 12th house is subconscious and hidden matters, and you're a Libra. So you may have a subconscious desire for balance and harmony, and you might avoid confrontations or difficult emotional issues, such as self-transformations. Now, I see that in there. All right. So let's talk about your planetary positions. So when you were born, you had a sun in Aquarius, which is the 10th house. So your core self is independent, You're very innovative and you really value your freedom. With
Yes.
the sun in the 10th house, you likely focus on making an impact on the world through your career, but you may feel a strong need to be recognized by your unique contributions.
I think that's to
Um,
be seen.
Moon in Gemini. So this is going to be your 8th house. So your emotional world is curious, communicative, and mentally oriented. Placed in the 8th house, you may seek emotional security through deep, transformative relationships and intense life experiences.
Yeah, I do like experiences. I like it. Well, actually, just because we're on the topic of ChatGPT, um, if you use it a lot, I saw the guy on TikTok say to ask ChatGPT, tell me something about myself that I don't know based off of our
Ooh.
interactions. And a lot of it was about that. It was like, I bet you would like haunted houses and extreme scare kind of things based off of the paranormal stuff you are always looking at. But it specifically said this, you like experience maybe like out of control experiences with limits. And I
That's
was like,
you.
that's
That's
absolutely what I
scary.
enjoy. Yes.
I love that. That's pretty cool. All right. So Mercury was in Aquarius when you were born, which is the 10th house. And so your communication style is progressive, you're inventive and forward thinking. And with Mercury in the 10th house, your thoughts and ideas are likely focused on your career and your public reputation. I mean, obviously, they're talking about Stormy Below.
Yeah,
I
I was
saw.
like, how? I was like, I don't really feel that way about my job.
Yeah, but I mean, I think the stars are aligned for us to do Stormy Willow, so that's what it
Yeah,
means.
that must be it.
That's what I'm saying. Um, and then Venus was in Capricorn, which is the 2nd house, and you value practicality and stability in love and finances. And the 2nd house, this placement suggests that financial security and long-term stability are important to you, both in relationships and how you handle money. I agree with that. And then Mars was in Leo when you were born, which is the 9th house. And your drive and energy are expressed boldly and confidently. Mars in the 9th house suggests that you are passionate about travel, philosophy, and higher learning. You like to seek adventure and personal growth.
Yeah,
I would agree with that.
it's like the
All right, so
Indiana Jones kind of
you're
like
like you've
vibe.
got like a very Indiana Jones vibe, I feel like.
Yeah, I'm feeling some indie.
I'm feeling some Indiana Jones, that is. All
Hmm.
right, so aspects in the chart. So this is like your planetary interactions, like how things kind of work with the planets and you. So the lines within the chart, and I'm actually going to send you a copy of your chart, like it drew it out and everything. It was really cool. So the lines that are within the chart represent the aspects or the angles, like we were talking about, between the planets, which show how the planets influence each other and how that impacts you. So whenever you have a Sun square Mars situation, this is going to indicate a potential conflict between your sense of self, so that's Sun, and how you assert yourself, which is Mars. You may experience tension between your desire for independence and your need for recognition or validation, like that. When those two things square up, that might really come forefront for you. Um, Whenever the moon trines Mercury, this is a harmonious aspect. So this suggests that your emotions, which the moon rules your emotions, and intellect, Mercury, work well together. You likely find it easy to express your feelings and thoughts clearly and enjoy discussing deep or complex topics whenever you have this planetary alignment. When you have Venus trine Mars, the it's also harmonious for you. It's going to show in your love life, which is Venus rules, and your personal drive, which Mars rules, are in balance. You likely have a healthy blend of passion and commitment in relationships, and pursue your desires confidently. And then, last but not least, your Jupiter sextile Saturn. This aspect provides a balance between expansion, which is Jupiter, and discipline, which is Saturn. You are likely able to grow steadily and responsibly, balancing optimism and practicality. I think that definitely sums you up. Like you're optimist, but you're also practical.
Yeah, yeah. I would say I always call myself a realist. And Amanda
Yeah,
always says that's just the pessimist being, trying to say they're more positive than they are. I'm like,
I would
no,
agree with
it's
that.
different.
I love it. So here are some just overall themes for you, Adele, in your birth chart. Your Aquarian influence. So with your Sun and Mercury in Aquarius, you have a strong focus on independence. I feel like independence just keeps coming up for you, like independence, freedom, independence, freedom. So you have a really strong focus on independence, innovation, and thinking outside the box, especially in your career, which for you is in the 10th house. So I feel like that sums you up very well. You also have a very fixed energy. So you have very significant placements in Aquarius, Leo, and Scorpio. And you're very persistent, determined, and focused on long term goals, though you may struggle with flexibility sometimes. Um,
Hmm.
your career and public life, with this being in your 10th house, is quite active with your Sun and Mercury here, suggesting a strong focus on career, public reputation, and how you contribute to the world.
I don't
And
know.
so
I don't
this
I don't really think about the public a lot.
Yeah, or maybe like how,
And
but you do
maybe
think about your place in it though. Like when you're talking about like not being a part of certain problems, like like over like when you're talking about one time we are talking about selling houses and you're like, I wouldn't want to be like just price it crazy like that. That's a part of the problem, not the solution. So I think you really do think about how you
well, yeah, I mean that's the
just
whole
impact.
reason we're going off the grid.
Yeah. But I'm
And
just
it
saying,
all
like I
ties
think
to
that
independence.
but I think it also ties into your position in the world too. Like I think you do. So basically, just to summarize your natal chart, Adele, um, you are a person who is innovative, you are driven and focused on making an impact in their career, which when we say career, we know it's Stormy Willow. So your relationships are approached with practicality and commitment, while personal transformation and emotional depth are explored with curiosity and adaptability. So there you go. That's your birth chart. You're welcome.
Interesting.
That'll be $50. My Venmo.
Expensive to Stormy
I'll
Willow.
expense it. But no, I mean, but seriously, you can. Like you what I did with Adele is I literally got the birth chart, tried to figure it out, and then went on chat GPT. It was like, I'm gonna just run this down and see what they say and compare notes.
I do that a
But
lot on there. I'll be like,
listen,
"Can you explain this to me as simply as possible?" And it
yes,
will, and it's
it does.
incredible.
But I'll tell you what, though, that's also cool is you can actually pay somebody for their services to do this too. So I mean, there are people out there that really understand this and how and like literally can make this chart, which is crazy. So yeah, that's my little treat for your trick or treat. It was a rush chart.
Fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hope you guys had fun with it. I love astrology. I love like reading my horoscope, but there is so much. I do think it's a science, and I think it's so difficult. And I really admire people that just know it. So,
Yeah.
hope this helps you, like as you're like maybe digging into your your astrology forecast and whatnot. Like maybe some of these things will start making more sense. Because I know sometimes I'll run into things. I'm like, what the hell does that mean? I have to look it up. So,
Oh, anytime I do that, I'm like, it's because this is all bullshit.
well, yeah. So there it is. I hope it helps. So
Yeah, that
there
was
you
a
go.
pretty fun one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew I
That's
had more Scorpio in there. I was like,
see
I'm too
you.
dark.
Yeah. See, there you do. So
I wonder if there's like a Scorpio element you, Dad, and I all share that
that
makes
would
us
be
like have a similar humor in certain things. I don't know.
maybe, and I think that's so cool because mom is a Scorpio.
Yeah, but she does not act like a Scorpio at all.
No.
I
Well,
would say she's
Steven
probably more
is,
like a Pisces in the way she behaves.
yeah. And Steven is an Aries, and he does not give out
Yeah.
Aries male energy whatsoever. Like, I feel like, I don't know.
So I
I'm
guess
just
for
like,
those who don't feel like their quote unquote zodiac sign represents them, I guess there's explanations as to why.
yeah,
Or it's because it's all crap. Like, I mean, there's that too.
it's not crap. It just may be that you, like, you have to look at your houses and stuff.
Got to clean up some of those houses.
Got to clean up some of those houses
So I was
or
just
not.
born. I was born with 12 houses, and people can't even afford a room right now. Fucking
Right?
crazy.
It's like you're born with 12 of them. Oh, so Dale, what are we gonna cover next?
I have no idea. Let's see. I don't even have the damn wheel pulled up. I'm not on
No.
top of it today.
Way to go,
Pull it
Dale.
up. All right. Let me
Dale,
share.
your Scorpio showing.
It's always showing. Okay. Let's see what the wheel has for us for next time. Here we go.
That
Oh.
was a quick. Oh, no.
Oh.
Are we gonna get two? Oh, you get a presenter's choice
I got a
too.
presenter's choice.
All right.
All
You cool
right,
with it?
so yeah, I'm cool with that. I guess yeah, there's tons of stuff always floating around.
So many things. Yes.
Cool, yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good one.
I
Let
hope you
us
enjoyed
know
it.
what your birth chart says about you and all that fun
Yeah.
stuff.
Or, if you've ever pulled one yourself or had one done, have you found it to be helpful? Do you find it to like be spot on for you, or do you find it to be like, no way, like I don't really vibe with any of it. I
Yeah.
know I haven't pulled my birth chart, so I'll have to look at my birth chart, but um I definitely vibe with my zodiac. So I would like to see like what my houses look like and see if that. I mean, I'm probably just a Cancer straight down too. Like Dad is a Leo straight down because I feel it so deep.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe yours is just like all water stuff.
I think I'm all
I don't
water.
know.
I am a very emotional gal.
Yeah. I could definitely see some of the Gemini energy in my stuff too.
Yeah,
Always like kind of deep in their thoughts and
that's right.
observing the world.
For sure. So I'm glad. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you liked your little surprise, Adele.
Yes, thank you.
You're
I guess that
welcome.
was a treat, not a trick. We'll see
That's
what I
right.
have for next week.
That's right. Well, all right, friends, as we say on our lovely podcast, stay safe out there, friends,
Stay curious.
and never trust the
For
living.
living.
And get watching those movies. Let's go.
Yeah, you better catch up, man.
Come
And
on.
I'm just telling you, I already know what's coming up tonight, the next couple of days. The best is yet
Yeah.
to come.
Can't wait. I'm here for it.
Mm-hmm.
Bye, Brood.
Later, taters.